If you are new to this channel and enjoy the content that you see, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications to be alerted and notified whenever a brand new video is posted onto this channel, along with following me on these social media platforms to stay connected with me at all times. Also, feel free to check out all of your favorite videos and playlists located down in the description box below. Thank you so much for your continued support. Now let's begin. What's up, Dragon Ball fans? The following video you are about to watch is going to be a debate surrounding two different topics at hand, the first having to be Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta versus Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 20 Goku after the Tournament of Power. No Ultra Instinct, having to ground both Goku and Vegeta in terms of skill, power, durability, tenacity, technique, and of course looking at both of them objectively as warriors and seeing which fighter would prevail in a one-on-one death battle, as the final topic of the episode is going to be Super Saiyan 3 Goku from the Janemba movie versus a full-powered Buuhan, Super Buu Ultimate Gohan Absorbed, an unrestricted battle showcasing power, speed, durability, skill, strategy, and weaknesses, as I hope you guys sit back and enjoy. If you guys have any comments of your own or a rebuttal against any of the comments said in the video, then post your comments in the comment section below, as myself alongside the debaters on the server would like to know your thoughts and opinions as to said subjects. So without wasting any more time, I hope you guys enjoy. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Now let's begin.
Super Saiyan Blue Evolution just will have a higher jump in power. And it's like he beat Vegeta has better feats than like Kaioken Goku. For an example, where he beat God Topo, where God Topo like is relative to the powered up Jiren, and then he surpasses that when he's tired. So it's like to say that he's like relative to Kaioken because he fought on side with him doesn't really make any sense. It's like another instance where it's like the prided final flash was more impressive and like the Spirit Bomb and K-Flow like chatting out for Belmont, and it's like Vegeta far surpasses that. So it's like Vegeta went from like fodder to fighting a stronger Jiren in like 2 seconds. So it's like if you want to go from the TOP, Vegeta's consistently had a higher jump in power, just like Goku had more Zenkais. But it's like if you want to go by feats, Vegeta has better feats.
I mean, Vegeta visually has more black and white feats, right? He beat God Topo, yay. And then it's just like, overall, yeah, he does have more visual feats. I mean, there's the Hakai, him just completely bitching Topo around and stuff like that. It implies one of two things, that either A, the Topo that was fighting alongside Jiren, quote unquote, is either equal to that level of Jiren, or he's still weaker to that level of Jiren, because there's another issue is where, I don't remember the exact off the top of my head right now because I'm tired as shit, but that was basically Vegeta's like final moment to shine at all, and that was versus Topo. After that, I think, because I know after they defeat Topo, Jiren powers up more. So the argument would be like, well, Emish, but that point is irrelevant because Jiren ended up powering more. He says, "Let me show you this. Let me show you something," and he powers up to quote unquote full power. I mean, it doesn't really mean that you can go full power but still not try it. I guess as hard, but. I don't know. I just think in terms of black and white, to keep things simple, yeah, I'd have to agree that Vegeta does have more feats out of the gate visually. As to where with Goku, you would have to argue like theoreticals. You would have to just say, well, Kaioken 20 to Goku is by now UI levels based on prior events, based on him getting multiple Zenkais, based on this and based on that, because Saiyans adapt and they improve themselves based on the ass whooping that they got earlier and the longer they fight, so on and so forth. So it's like, well, the difference is that Vegeta has clear feats, as to where Goku just fought alongside him. I mean, I guess for this conversation, if it's during the tournament, at that point in time where Goku goes Kaioken maxed out and Vegeta, ascends for the first time, or at least after that, let's say after Vegeta beats Topo, and then around that time Goku was still doing his thing, trying to like, why'd you do that to your friend, or why'd you say that to Topo, and then Jiren just kicks him in the face. I'd say at that time Vegeta's probably still above Goku. But after that, that's basically the last time he got anything done. So it still kind of puts Vegeta up top, because just for the simple fact he got more done, as to where Goku didn't do jack shit up until UI was basically awakened again. So it's hard to argue in Goku's favor unless you want to wank him to UI levels like, which even in 110, it's basically stated that Goku matched Jiren. It doesn't explain how the Genki Dama, allowed Goku to match that level of Jiren. And then his moves are sharper when he fights Kefla. And then after that, it's like, well, Kaioken times 20 Goku, even UI to some degree, didn't really make Jiren try to go all out. it did make Jiren try more than just base blue Goku or just, Kaioken times 20 Goku, but still. So that's why I'm just under the assumption that because UI offers like certain hacks advantages over just Kaioken times 20 Goku, for the sake of argument, I'll put Vegeta over Goku just for now.
I would side more to Goku, just depending if it's more of Ultra Instinct gives him a power boost. If not, and just Ultra Instinct is like its own separate thing that doesn't give Goku a power boost, still leaning on Vegeta's side for me personally.
You're thinking of Zenkai's then, like it's stated he gets stronger while in UI, and then it's basically he continues to get stronger throughout the course of the tournament, which basically led up to him fighting Jiren to begin with. Even that wasn't enough though. So like it's the issue is that even with the amount of Zenkais that Goku got, it still wasn't shit to even hold a candle to Jiren. And people who try to insinuate that, yeah, they're actually making Jiren power up, it's like, dude, come on, like we've seen what he can do at when he's trying, like.
Yeah,
so
Blue Evolution is a higher boost in power because it far supersedes both Ultra Instinct and Kefla, like by quite the margin. And then they were making. I mean, you can disagree with that, but it's like there's like literally no argument for Kefla anymore because they all scale higher. They scale higher to a Jiren that far surpasses Kefla by existing. So it's like take that for whatever you will. Also, Blue Evolution Vegeta went from like barely Spirit Bomb levels to like beyond whatever the hell Jiren was.
Spirit Bomb levels. What are you talking about?
Talking about Blue Vegeta?
The Final Flash?
No, it's just base Blue Vegeta being below Spirit Bomb levels to like jumping past.
When did that happen?
So base Blue Vegeta, right? Before Blue Evolution was not even Spirit Bomb level. And then when he goes Blue Evolution, he far surpasses Kefla and both the UI Omens via basic scaling.
But when did base Blue Vegeta become like close to the Spirit Bomb, or even remotely worthy of being in the same conversation or sentence?
No, I said below Spirit Bomb level.
So below still implies that he's nearby. Like he's not. I mean, otherwise there's no reason to even mention the Spirit Bomb. I'm trying to figure out what you're saying.
Scale, man. I'm just saying he's below Spirit Bomb level, so it's like below that margin. Yeah. I mean, before he went full power, though, because when he fought Jiren, he was not at full power via, like, Herms. And then he just kind of far supersedes that at full power.
My life.
Bro, like, I'm not even joking with you. That's how the show sees it, fam.
No, dude, no. Use your head, my man. Listen, if Goku resorts to the Genki Dama, that means he himself at full power at that time does not have...
Not that Goku. Not so that one. The one that fought... Okay.
The second time when they had the rematch?
Yes, the one that fought the powerful Jiren. He's already far surpassed the Spirit Bomb.
So what other Goku are you referring to then? Because you're saying the one that fought him before.
Jiren. The one that's actually at full power.
That was the third time he went Omen.
Not Omen. No, there was an instance where Goku wasn't at full power. So like post Kefla. So post episode 109, 110.
Like when he was fighting.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, yeah. I mean, wait, are you referring to the episode
on Goku's favor too? Like,
but
because Goku was not fighting with Kaioken times 20.
Okay, so Emish, remember when Goku lost to Jiren, right? And he was out of power or stamina.
Are you talking about the episode that's like full body and soul, all that shit, full power release? That episode?
Yeah, it was specifically stated he was at full power, so he wasn't using full powered blue when he fought Jiren prior to that.
And when was the last time he fought Jiren prior to that?
Episode 122.
Okay, so
prior to that was like 110.
Yeah, I'm merely arguing that Blue Evolution has a higher power jump than Kaioken times 20.
Oh yeah. I mean, I would say if you can prove like that Kaioken times 20 Goku at that point in time is still higher than the theoretical power jump that Blue Vegeta is, like I stated before, then yeah, sure. But there's Goku didn't get much done up until he got UI again, so it's...
Oh, Goku got a lot done, actually. Goku and Vegeta, when they powered up, they made Jiren try. Like, Jiren's... Okay, so an example of, like, a good feat, it's like... So, Radiant brought this up, like, well, they weren't making progress, but, like... During the episode, Jiren is like visually frustrated, and he's resorted to teamwork with Topo, and it's like Topo.
He didn't need teamwork to fight Topo to fight them both with Topo. He was doing.
Get him, Sandy! Get him!
Topo fought 17 in Frieza.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
what he's referring to is when
Not
Topo
like
jumped
the-
in with Jiren because he gave him a nod and they were like, oh yeah, let's both gang up on these four. It's pretty much Jiren, unless you could show me evidence and Jiren getting pushed back and he was sweating and they could tell that they were doing some type of damage. No, follow them finish. If you can show me where they were doing some type of damage to Jiren, I'll concede to the fact that they were at least able to push him back in the slightest, and they made Jiren, they forced Jiren to power up even more.
Here's where you can't do that. Here's why you can't do that. Raging.
Blue Goku already did that though. Blue Goku already forced Jiren to use more power.
He didn't force him because it was only due to the fact that Jiren was pissed off that he almost got eliminated to such a fodder-ass attack. That's why he was more pissed off than actually getting almost eliminated.
The issue is raging that the Blue Goku still continues to fight with that Jiren. Then after Jiren scares him out of blue, he gets back up and powers up even further. And it's like throughout episode 123 to like 26, if my math is correct, Jiren's having a hard time and he's like struggling. He's barely reacting to their coordination. And it's like, oh, okay. And then it's like,
okay, then what happens right after? What do they say?
Then he just says,
oh, our scratches are.
No, I just said the statement that you brought up is fodder because the feed debunks that. It's like, oh, we're not making any progress. A few seconds later, Jiren's visibly frustrated. He's calling them like impudent ants or whatever the hell he calls it.
No. Here's what happened. They were both trying to attack. They both were uncoordinated. Coincidentally, that's what made them have some type of advantage against Jiren. Yes, Jiren was getting hit and shit, but then right after he says, "Wow."
But that
he
means
took our attacks like it was nothing, and then Shin backs up by saying that did 0 damage. I would add Sin to give me the scans, but I'm
too lazy having a hard time. Then you just concede to your point that he did have a hard time.
If he had a hard time, then why was he looking away, looking at Topo when he was fighting
they
both
stopped.
Frieza 17?
So when Topo released a huge burst of power, everyone stopped because the huge burst of power was God knows how many times stronger. He was like, "Oh shit, Topo's getting serious." Jiren, as a fighter, if he is competent in taking on one person or two people, it was already shown in episode 110. It's like, yo, I got this. Stop what you're doing. I have this. It's like, oh, my help isn't needed. Why would they arbitrarily need to team up then if Jiren could have just bodied them? But Jiren at the time was having a hard time. Goku and Vegeta's combat speed and AP and whatever is just too fast for them. That's it. That's why you need help. And he was visibly frustrated. So it's like your statement falls apart there via the basic feats that were presented. And I was just arguing that like they're stronger than what they were prior. That's why it's like, oh, show me where he was showing sweat and whatnot. It's like, okay, so visible frustration isn't pushing someone. Okay.
I mean, if he was frustrated, then it would have been noted by the show itself. Jiren wasn't having any trouble. No, wait, Jiren wasn't having any noticeable trouble against them. That's why they were both struggling against themselves. Because he took both of their attacks. He took both of their final Kamehameha or the final flash and the Kamehameha at the same time. And he was literally mollywopping both Goku and Vegeta. They were doing
barely
nothing.
react prior to that. So he was like, no, but you just agreed to the notion that he was like having a hard time reacting to Goku and Vegeta. So he was having a hard time.
I said he was having a hard time.
You did. You said he couldn't react to what their coordination. And he was getting pissed off.
Yes, their coordination. Yes, they were obviously getting the attack in. Follow, listen. If you want to attack my argument, let me finish it.
You're both wrong. They were uncoordinated, actually.
Yeah.
No, let me finish my. Okay, let me finish then. I don't know why you want to keep on cutting me off.
Your premise was that you never struggled to begin with, and you just conceded on your.
Yes,
premise.
and can I finish it, or are you going to keep on cutting me off?
But you already conceded to your premise. Why do you continue to go on a premise?
Let him finish his point.
Okay, listen. Obviously, they were both uncoordinated. That was stated by the show itself. When they were saying that it was uncoordinated and that was the best advantage that they had, then Jiren is getting hit. But just because you get hit doesn't mean that you're obviously struggling. Yes, he didn't get the exact coordinations because he was obviously being thrown off. It doesn't mean that he was having a hard time. He was obviously handling both Goku and Vegeta pretty well. If you want me to get the scans right now, or if you want to get the scans to where Jiren was literally just bored fighting both Goku and Vegeta, I can.
Okay, prove it.
Because literally right after, every single time they did some type of attack in episode 123, 124, 125, 126, or whatever episode they kept on fighting Jiren before 17 showed up, every single time they did something, wow, he took our attacks like it was nothing. He obviously wasn't frustrated. Like Topo showed up out of nowhere.
Here's why everything that you guys are saying is irrelevant. One, Raging, the points you're bringing up are after Jiren went full power. Theoretically. Allegedly. Let me show you this. That's after Topo was eliminated. So the argument against that would be it doesn't matter because Jiren was at full power, so of course they're not going to be able to pierce his attack. The problem is 17 just did that shit prior. There's the
I'm not
length,
speaking
there's
about
the
that,
length.
Jiren. I'm speaking about
I'm
123.
just saying, use the point that came from an episode where Jiren was at full power, allegedly. Okay, but my point is, both of what you're talking about is irrelevant to Goku and Vegeta post-tournament power.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to debate. I'm just saying, like, the
No,
power
you're not
jump.
debating it either.
Yeah, I'm like, because Emmett said, like, yeah, they weren't even UI level. I'm like, that's incorrect. They're stronger than that. They're not. They could also be faster, but it's like I'm not really arguing that. I'm just saying Blue Evolution has a very high power jump, and it's like,
Okay, here's my question. Do you think
Why?
Blue Goku and Vegeta were relative to each other before they fought Jiren in episode 122?
okay, what proof do you have? Goku wasn't at full power.
I'm just asking you,
talking
do you
about,
think
like,
that they were
some,
relative to each other?
Are you talking about because remember, Goku wasn't at full power when he fought in 122.
I mean, the episode entitled is Full Powered Body. That means they were both going all out. You'd have to give me evidence to support why they weren't going all out against enemy like Jiren.
Are you talking about 120? Okay, so I'm confused. Were you saying 122 or 123?
Oh my God. Fallen 122. Do you think
No,
Blue
Blue
Goku and
Goku
Vegeta
was
are
on.
relative to each other? Yes or no?
No, they weren't. Suppressed Goku was not relative to Vegeta. Goku wasn't going all out that episode.
Oh,
Okay, how are you scaling suppressed Blue Goku to full powered Vegeta and saying that they're relative?
show me where he was suppressed.
Pardon?
Yes, you need to prove to me how Goku was suppressed. Considering that he knows enemy like Jiren, who is so powerful, there would be no need to hold it back against Jiren, knowing the stake that his
I never
universe
claimed
is
that. I
suppressed.
said that he wasn't at full power.
The episode title is Full Powered Full Body. There would
That's
be no reason to
121,
suggest that
not
Goku
121.
wasn't at full power, and there'd be no reason to suggest that he was suppressed.
No.
So again, can I ask you my question?
That's not.
Who do you think is?
No, that was episode 123. 123.
No, it was episode 122.
That Goku is finally at full power. So it's like, take your pick.
In
And
episode
actually-
122, Goku finally regained all of his power, which was hence called
No,
Full
he didn't.
Powered
That was
Body, because that's when both
123.
Goku
I
and
can ask
Vegeta,
Alex.
Universe 7 and 11, were fighting facing each other.
Emish,
So again, Fallen, can you answer my question? Who do you think was
I already
stronger, Blue
answered your
Goku and
question. It
Vegeta?
was never stated in 122. It was stated in 123 that he was at full power.
123 is body and soul full power release.
Yeah, well, raging. You don't even know the episode titles and you're trying to make claims. Emish, wasn't there a statement from Herms98 saying that Goku was finally at full power?
Based on spoilers,
Yes,
that
based on
most of the time were not accurate, yes.
Yes, okay. So I'm going by the spoilers because, again, translations are a bitch. I'm sorry, because Japanese is like that. But that would be the episode Goku is finally at full power. That means the prior episode, Goku wasn't at full power. So I don't know what you're talking about.
To iterate, it's not that the translation is a problem. The problem is that the source where the spoilers are coming from, they're just strictly to market something that they don't really have any direct affiliation with Toei half the time.
It's
So
a
it's like-
synopsis, I think. Honestly, it's just a synopsis of like the
You're not going to give a
episode.
synopsis on spoilers on something that hasn't happened yet. You either give spoiler information which are based on leaks that these companies have access to for the most part, which is why they're called spoilers, and then the synopsis comes after, which is what Herms does on Twitter after the episode airs.
Because I'm just going off the scan of like, I don't know like what the hell Herms does, so I just like watch your videos and be like, oh, okay, episode 123, he's at full power or some shit like that.
Well,
I'm just going off that.
either way, the conversation is relevant to the topic, which is post-tournament power, Goku, Kaioken times 20 versus Evolution Vegeta. Who's greater? I think Goku would slap a Vegeta at this point.
Sure.
Doesn't matter how big the jump is for Vegeta.
Sure. I mean, there
That's
was
what I'm asking you. Fallen, who do you think would be stronger at the time, Blue Goku or Vegeta?
Raging,
around 122 and 123.
Conversations are relevant to the actual debate. We swayed the topic.
I'm asking you because if they were both shown to be relative and Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 20 in evolution, then if they have the same levels of multiplier power, then you'd have to suggest that they were both the same at Blue.
Swaying the topic.
Yeah,
Let me add on to Amish's point because there was another thing. So hold on, before I even answer Raging's question, there was a commercial that quote unquote continued Goku and Vegeta's fight when they were in Blue. Yeah,
Slightly.
Yeah.
It ended on a stalemate. It did not.
They were in a stalemate. So I mean, you could argue. So the issue with post TOP, and I feel like many people do misunderstand, is that like you have to argue that Blue Goku at the end of the TOP, his blue is stronger than Vegeta's evolution post TOP, because only Kaioken only boosts his power by 20 times. But the issue is, it's like the commercial is the commercial and the ending.
Well, we should ask ourselves, what is the multiplier for Blue Evolution?
You can't scale that, bro. It's really high. It's bigger than the Final Flash. It's bigger than whatever the hell Ultra Instinct was because it was a jump that was like ridiculous. So it's like, take your pick. You can lowball it. You'd be like, okay, it's this time, but it's like the issue with like post TOP. You have to remember,
If you're talking
Goku
about
got
Ultra
his-
Instinct 110, Goku was no way able to access the full powers of Ultra Instinct. Same
Yeah,
thing we
but-
said it was Buckcat. Same thing.
Yeah, I was gonna add to
Same thing.
Emerson's point for the
Old is trying to talk. Hold on.
yeah, my bad.
Couldn't tap into the full powers. The more he got into it, the more he tapped into more of its power.
Yeah. There's just a lot of question marks because it's like I don't know.
That's,
I'm not
that's
sure.
one of the problems with Super is that they don't take the time to explain.
Yeah.
In certain, a lot of the
Yeah, I mean,
assholes
yeah.
could have easily not have been assholes if they explained it. Like, for example, Super Saiyan Rage.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah, I was gonna ask Emish a question. Do you believe that Goku was trying at the end of episode 130? Remember when they were having that final battle in blue? Plus that stupid commercial. Do you believe Goku was going all out, or do you believe he was holding back for Vegeta's sake?
Wait, what? When was
And-
Goku
okay.
holding back?
Okay. So I have a question for you, okay?
Mhm.
So when Goku and Vegeta fought in the final episode, do you believe that they were relative to each other, or do you believe Goku was stronger?
Well, Goku has a quote unquote habit, as stated, as he's a slow starter. That's been shown many times before.
He's a slow starter?
Yeah, it's been stated.
he has a bad habit of
okay.
holding back.
Takes a while to get him going. I mean, he did the same thing to Vegeta in Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Like, Vegeta stated it when he was fighting Goku Black that he has a bad habit of holding back.
Does anyone have that commercial that was continuing Goku and Vegeta's fight?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, it's on YouTube.
I'm just going with whatever information I have. So it's like, if we can suffice that Blue Goku is above Vegeta at the time, then we can like pinpoint that Kaioken could slap Blue Evolution both post TOP.
No, you just literally look at the point Vegeta gave out versus the point where Goku still kept going. Goku still had power in his base to fight Jiren, who, based on logic, forget the show, based on our understanding or based on our limited understanding of power scaling, that Jiren was at least probably like fucking like, let's just say 109, if not slightly weaker than that. So that's the issue there. I mean, there's no way to there's not much of evidence to explain why Frieza's whooping his ass too.
Are you talking
17
about
kind of makes
131?
sense. Yeah, the final
Yeah,
episode.
okay.
Yeah,
Because
so I'm
I
like,
thought you were talking about the one that was a beating on Vegeta. I'm like,
no.
This
I'm
is-
saying that Jiren, like the final episode, Jiren was still fucking strong, dude. Like, but still weaker compared to like considering how strong they've become as well. So it's like, the final episode did not really consider scaling to any degree at all. They just wanted to make the fight seem meaningful and impactful, and that's obvious.
Yeah. Well,
But from a
here's-
debating standpoint, it's like whatever.
Well, I mean, there are some hints, and I'm like, please take what I say with a grain of salt because it's hard to justify Frieza's jump in power. So the thing is, how do you justify if you were to put words into context of what earlier means? When Frieza says you're not exuding the same power that you were exuding earlier, which point in time would you think he is referring to?
Any point, literally where he was stronger. Any point where he was stronger.
Oh boy, that doesn't help.
It doesn't have to. He's literally saying. I mean, Frieza's literally fighting this dude and not getting one-shotted anymore. Like, so it's he got his ass whooped earlier by Jiren, dude. So it doesn't matter what let's just say that Jiren, the Jiren that fucking psychic fucking muted him and shit. He just fucking muted him with that psychic eye and shit, and just knocked him, send him flying back. Let's just say that Jiren. But I don't know that episode. I think Frieza was like, he was like, "Fuck this, I'm gonna kill you." Forget the rules and all this other shit. But I'm just saying, generally, any level of Jiren was just ridiculously broken compared to the one that we saw 131. The issue is that, Jiren powers up. 17 is telling Frieza, use more power. Frieza's like, don't tell me what to do. They can barely hold Jiren back. Base Goku stands up after getting blasted by UI energy. Fucking blood and shit coming out of his back and shit, whatever that shit was. Next thing you know, the base Goku's like half asleep and shit. He's like, sorry, guys. And then after that, they have a conversation midway. And then base Goku made that big difference. Because Jiren powers up more. He says, Goku, once again, you stand before me. He fucking powers up more. Gohan says, Jiren's, emitting a massive amount of energy right now. And it's like when Goku, for example, he was out of stamina, but he still had access to a lot of power. It's kind of like the same instance here. But the issue is base Goku made that difference. So it's like, in that instance, in that scenario, base Goku made all the difference.
Yeah, I have a question. Would you agree to the notion that everyone in that episode broke their limits? As Goku said, that they all went beyond their limitations?
Well, yeah, every character is capable of doing that. But not on the same level as a Saiyan, though. If you understand what I'm trying to say here. Like, every character who's a fighter can surpass their previous limit. They can go all out. They can give 150% as opposed to giving 100%. So, but not on the same magnitude as a Saiyan. When a Saiyan does it, they just get access to something new. So it's like, yeah, out of the gate, yeah, like if Vegeta transformed, then Goku would probably have to respond with Kaioken x20. I'm just saying, based on logic, Goku got benefited way more throughout the climax of the tournament as opposed to Vegeta. Vegeta capped out, I think it was 129, 128 at the end or some shit, whatever. So, yeah. And after that,
where he got rung out.
Yeah, and then Goku's just like, all right, well.
He got rung out because he ran out of energy.
Yes, and then he gave some to Goku, who also ran out of energy.
But simultaneously had enough energy to go blue out. Or, I mean, Genki stacked on top of each other. Never mind, I'm stupid. So I think let's go by this logic, okay? I'm gonna play Deborah's advocate. Let's look at what Zenkais were on the TOP.
Don't use the commercial. All right, go ahead.
Okay. So because again, people are like, no, Kefla's the third strongest. I'm not buying that. So like, please level with me here. So let's go past episode 109, 110. Goku is completely depleted. I'm not going to be saying Goku got multiple Zenkais. I'm going to simplify it. Just say Goku fully recovered his energy, got a massive boost of power that surpassed both the Ultra Instincts. He fought a stronger Jiren. Then he continues to grow even further. Goku has a better growth rate than Vegeta. Vegeta had one giant burst of energy, right, which is evolution. Then he got stronger after that, and stronger after that. So the argument for Goku would be like, okay, so since Blue Goku, base Goku, right, is stronger than what he was prior to base Vegeta, and we know that Goku has a tendency of holding back for Vegeta's case because did that against Buu Saga, did that in the Buu Saga, right? Didn't want to shatter Vegeta's pride. We know that he held back when he fought Copy Vegeta, right? He didn't use Kaioken. I don't even think he used full power because, again, Goku was demonstrably above Vegeta. And then you could just argue that they just wanted to make that team cinematic and not a stomp. So Kaioken would be above Evolution Vegeta as the gap that Goku and Vegeta got is bigger because Goku got more Zenkais, and Zenkais have shown to be a higher level of power. Like they get a jump like there's no tomorrow. And Goku got he got the worst beating compared to Vegeta.
Dude, Vegeta. Okay. Let's reiterate. Goku fought Jiren. After that, he fought Kale and Caulifla. Then he fights Kefla. Then he's out here fighting Universe 2 and shit, which is like whatever, right? So I'm not gonna count them, but I'm gonna throw them in. And then he fights fucking. Who do you fight after that? Oh, he helped hit against Dispo. I mean, that was prior, actually. So, okay, he fought Jiren. Yeah, he fought Universe 3 with everybody else's help, too, though. But the robots were ganging up on him, blah, blah, but then he had help from Khalifa, and then eventually he fights Khalifa and Kale, and then he fights Kefla, and then here we are with Jiren again. Vegeta, that whole time, the only threat he fought was base Topo. That entire fucking time. So even if we wanted to argue that Vegeta's transformation has a theoretical higher out of the gate power just upon transforming to be higher than Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 20 Goku after he got access to Ultra Instinct twice and continued to get stronger after that. Yeah, I'm sorry. I would agree with you for the sake of plot wank, but logically for the sake of this alleged conversation, the only threat Vegeta fought was base Topo, and that fight never finished. Goku, for the most part, had finished every single fight and got his ass whooped multiple times and just continued to get stronger, continued to do his thing. There were statements that half the time he was out of stamina, so he was fighting on thin ice and all this other bullshit. But we know Goku performs at his best, and he gets better when he's pushed into a corner. That's who Goku is. The Terminator power makes that pretty evident. So with that information in mind, Goku slaps Vegeta, regardless. That's why out of the gate, you might not agree, but out of the gate, because Vegeta never fought a legitimate threat, that was the first time he surpassed his limitations, okay? And if we agree that Vegeta and Goku, throughout the course of the tournament, at least in the beginning, were equal in terms of their Super Saiyan Blue transformations, then that's why out of the gate, I would put Vegeta's ascended Super Saiyan Blue evolution on a comparative level to at least, let's just say, 110 UI Goku. That's why, because that was the first time he broke his limits. Goku consistently did it throughout the entirety of the tournament. Like I said, so the only threat Vegeta ever fought was Base Topo. And while Vegeta was fighting Base Topo, he fought nobody else that would push Vegeta even remotely close to fucking surpassing his limitations. He fought Base Topo, then he got his ass whooped by Jiren. He got Hakai'd, basically. Like, he got fake Hakai'd, and then he stayed down, and then he got back up, tried to do some more shit, and then transformed. Like, that's his first time fighting Jiren. Goku did that shit and didn't even transform on his own. He had to rely on the Genki Dama. That's the difference here. So that's where the big difference is. But ultimately, Goku just got a lot stronger, benefited a lot more from Zenkai's overall. As to where Vegeta got his ass whipped by Jiren one time, Goku was getting his ass whipped by everybody and their mama in the tournament. So especially in terms of viable threats, Jiren twice, right? And then we got like fucking Kefla. Like, these guys are no joke. Like, so Vegeta didn't do jack shit or get jack shit where we can use it from a debating standpoint to say, yeah, he got stronger throughout the tournament too. No, he's consistently been behind Goku throughout the entirety of the tournament, which is why I would place Evolution Vegeta out of the gate in that episode where he's side by side with fucking Kaioken Goku at 110 UI levels at most. And then maybe we could argue that, yeah, he got stronger after when he was fighting Topo, for the motivation boost and stuff like that. And then he just got stronger after that, which would probably put him like at the Goku that fought Kefla tops. And I still think he's weaker, but fine. Which just proves that fucking Topo is trash. So yeah, Goku's just on a whole nother level at this point, especially at this point.
So in the Janemba movie, Goku was shown to shake the macrocosm. Now, for anybody who doesn't understand that is basically shaking the universe, right? And Janemba, or sorry, not Janemba, Buuhan basically was destroying the pillars that hold up the universe, destroying the dimensions that hold it up. Goku basically stood and shook the building, whereas Buuhan had to actually hit it to break it. That's enough said on that. And if you want me to go on, you can also say that Goku, even though he was losing, is still relativistic to Janemba, and who would also beat Buuhan into a bloody pulp or whatever Buuhan's made of. I mean, Gohan. I'm not Gohan.
I wouldn't go
Goku
anymore.
doing that, shaking the macrocosm, is legit above anything Buuhan was able to do. Legit anything he did. The most comparable thing is his Vice Shout, which threatened the universe. But overall, Goku's feat of shaking the macrocosm is just above that.
So the macrocosm is like the living world, the afterlife, the Kaio, and the Kaioshin realm. And I think the Kaioshin realm, because that's also parallel to the living world. Okay, so when they talk about universe, what do they talk about? Like in context, right? Are they talking about the living world? Are they talking about everything? Because remember, the living world is the universe, but it's not the macrocosm. It would be kind of like.
It's like, what Danny's doing is basically arguing like Broly. Anyway, the same way someone would argue in Broly's favor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's happening. I'm not criticizing you, Danny. It's just, that's essentially what's happening here. So other than that,
I understand that. I mean, it's basically the same thing. Movies scale differently. That's the thing.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna try one.
Well, no, it's not just about they scale differently. You can definitely compare. You can fucking debate the two. What I'm saying is that you're debating in the sense where it's like, well, Broly, destroyed the quadrant. Show me anywhere. Show me where any character you think of in Dragon Ball Z can do that. Let's argue that's what's happening with the conversation right now, and it's just like, yeah, obviously, Fallen cannot do that.
I mean, I could argue it. Like,
you can argue it, but you can't prove it.
That's the entire feat, and that's what I brought up earlier when we were discussing this.
Okay, sure.
That's the.
Sure. Let me try to this, Danny. So the Vice Shout, right? We were stating in the Daizenshu that it would destroy the living world and the universe, so it would be both, right? The barrier itself also relies on one's battle power, so Buuhan's key would have to be on that destructive capability to one-shot it. I don't have the scans on me, but Vegeta and Dende said if we don't stop him, he's gonna collapse the entire universe and destroy it. Shaking the afterlife and the living world is like.
I mean, yeah, and I said, hope my shit didn't cut out.
So I have a question. If I shake a door, am I door level?
You cut out there, Fallen.
I have a question. So let's say if I have a bowl of water, right? If I shake the bowl of water, am I destroying it?
Well, I already went over that with you. Buuhan was not directly destroying the universe. He was destroying the pillars that hold it up, which is why I said the difference is that Goku, like, okay, say you're in the basement of a building, right? Or you're underneath a structure that is being held up by pillars. You standing there and just doing nothing, basically, and shaking that is a bigger feat than somebody taking a hammer and smacking out the pillars to do the same thing.
Well, I was gonna argue that, like, Buuhan, right? Buuhan's barrier. Let's say in a hypothetical situation, Goku does beat the shit out of Buuhan, right? The collapsing of the universe would kill Goku, but it would shield Buuhan because Goku does not scale to Universe Plus in the Fusion Reborn because he could not one-shot both of the space times, right? He couldn't destroy it because he was shaking it by powering up at full power. And he doesn't even scale to like Janemba, who would like, I'm just going to casually exist, right? It took Goku everything, every ounce of his power to like shake something, right? That's less impressive than what Buuhan did because the barrier is stronger than Goku. So you'd have to prove that Goku is able to destroy the barrier or he'll die from the universe collapsing on itself.
Don't forget, Buuhan did that when he was enraged.
Yeah, and this is enraged Buuhan. So enraged Buuhan would start off the bat screaming his like lungs out and collapsing the universe.
That's not the same as Goku. He was shaking hell by going Super Saiyan 3. Buuhan did that. Yeah, he was going to collapse the whole universe and stuff, but he did that while enraged because Vegeta pissed him off.
He was attacking what holds up the universe. And at least from my perspective, that is a much lesser feat than just shaking the universe as a whole.
Yeah, we're not disagreeing with you. Right? Up. I have a question, right? So if I shake something, right? If something shakes, does that mean it can destroy it? So if I shake a glass of water, am I destroying it?
I mean, it depends on what you do because yes, if you shake something hard enough, it can destroy it.
Was it ever stated that Goku was going to destroy it, or was it only shaking it?
He was just shaking it. But even so, again, Buuhan himself is not outputting power to attack or destroy the universe itself. He's destroying what holds it up.
Okay.
So that's saying that he's destroying the universe. No, he's not destroying the universe. He's destroying what holds the universe up, and by extension, the universe will collapse in and entropy and all that scientific bullshit.
Yeah.
But the point is that he is not attacking the universe itself and making the universe itself shake.
Okay. I think he was collapsing dimensions, I think, and it's like, so if we know that, it's something on the lines of that. Like, I don't know the translations. They said dimensions in the subs, and then Kai did something similar. So, like, I mean, take what you want. But we have to establish this, that if Goku at full power only has enough power to shake it, but only to a portion where it's like, oh shit, you're shaking it. If Goku was shaking it to destroy it, right, if it was ever specifically stated to destroy it, then, by conjunction, Buuhan, he would not be able to bypass the Vice Shout barrier, right? Because remember, Alex said Buuhan is unrestricted. Buuhan, right, would be using the Vice Shout up the gate because Goku would have already pissed him off, right? You would have to somehow prove that Goku's AP scales to Buuhan's Vice Shout barrier. It's the barrier we're talking about, that I'm talking about. It's just that, because again, I can have Emish explain, but it's like, I don't know if he's here, but it's like,
I know what you're saying. It's a good point, but I don't think we need to go further with that.
Yeah, so Buuhan cannot bust the universe with his fist, but Goku did not scale to Buuhan's barrier, thus he would die via the universe collapsing on itself. because Goku's at full power, right? When he's fighting Fat Janemba, and it only has the destructive capability to shake something to a point of like maybe destruction if you like highball it. But like Buuhan's feat of the Vaisha would actually be really more impressive because he's also affecting different universes. When I mean different universes, I'm using the different realms that are there. And the Vaisha is also affecting the Kaioshin realm because when they mention in the Daizenshu article, it says it's affecting the living world and the universe. Well, in context, what they mean to the living world is it's the base universe, right? So it's that's the first layer, right? So it's like your base standard universe, and you have heaven and hell that are above that, and then you have the Kaioshin realm that exists outside that. What Buuhan was going to do, he was going to collapse all those dimensions onto the living world. That takes far more greater power than just shaking it, right? So let's say I have to be strong enough to collapse these pillars, which are universe in size. So it's like the Vaisha barrier also would protect Buu from that universal destruction where Goku would die.
In his movies is that Broly actually destroyed things with his own power willingly, and Goku just powered up he powered up to fight an opponent. So even though it's an impressive feat in and of itself, the difference, and then once again in terms of Buuhan, is that he was actually doing things with that power up, thus collapsing the universe or whatever the term was. So that's what's separate, and that itself, because Vegito kind of like he set up a barrier, and Vegito quote unquote struggled with it, and he had to like try it just a little bit, whatever, and until eventually he broke it. That's the difference. Goku can do neither of those things. So that's why he's saying you would have to prove that Super Saiyan 3 Goku, even though he shook it with his own power, nothing in that movie suggests that he was able to attack with that same level of force at all. Or nothing that suggests that he would be able to attack with the level of force that's even capable of breaking through Buuhan's barrier the same way Vegito did.
Well, I mean, if Fallen is saying that, if Buuhan could do this, that means his power must be on that level, right? If Fallen is saying that, then, well, first off,
he's not saying that.
Yeah, he did. He said that Buuhan, because he was able to do this, his power's on this level.
He said Buuhan's Vaisha or the barrier, which created a barrier under. So it's like, yeah, even though it's coming from Buuhan, essentially it is Buuhan, but we're talking about Buuhan using the Vaisha, which is whatever he was doing, and then it creates a barrier that Vegeta had to break through.
Yeah,
Goku doesn't have any support. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, I can clarify.
He's not saying Buuhan is on that level. He's just saying that he was with an attack, the same way you're saying Super Saiyan 3 Goku shook the macrocosm, whatever. It would actually be you implying that Super Saiyan 3 Goku is on that level in the movie. But everything afterward doesn't suggest that. So that's where Fallen is trying to say, well, prove that Goku can smash on Buuhan's Vaisha and the barrier that it creates, because if he can't, Goku would die due to the collapse of the universe itself. That's what he's saying.
Well, I did argue that like the Daidenshu article did say that like people of the significant battle power, they need to be strong enough to use this technique. So it's like he is strong, like he is a universe buster, right? It's just it's not correlated to his feet. It's like his hacks. You need to be strong enough to use his hacks. So like Frieza in the Namek saga can't use Buuhan's fight shell because he's not strong enough, right? His Ki is not on that level. I think Ki is Scream. I think. Please don't like take this like verbatim, but like, so let's take True Golden Frieza. If Frieza screamed with all his might and he used his Ki, he would create a much stronger Vaisha because he is way above Buuhan, and his battle power is much higher.
I mean, but Goku did fight somebody like that, though, that was able to do things like that and alter the universe for the worse. For the worse, I guess, which was Janemba. Janemba was basically able to do the same thing. If left unchecked, he could and would have altered to the universe to his liking with no what's the word for it? No regard for anybody else. Nobody else. Like fuck, man. Like he could basically do what Buuhan was doing. Because if Janemba scales above that Goku, right, and he already has innate ability to affects reality, affects space and time since they're linked, space time, then and Goku's at least relativistic to him. And I'm not going to argue that Goku can beat Janemba because of course he can't. He was shown to not be able to, but if he can fight somebody on that level who basically has the same power, then you can suggest that he'd be able to fight a weaker Buuhan, who again is weaker than Janemba himself. And if Goku's relativistic to Janemba, that means he'd be above Buuhan. And also the other thing is that again, Buuhan had to get angry to do that. Goku wasn't angry at the time. Goku, I don't want to say calmly powering up because I don't think that's a thing considering you have to scream, but you probably get what I mean, right? Right, Fallen? Fallen still? Did I cut out? Is anybody here?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Worded Falling, whatever. He probably understands what I mean. Goku calmly powering up, was able to shake the macrocosm just by powering up.
Yeah.
Now imagine if that Goku got angry. Rage boost.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Sorry, I was just having a taco, so it's both kind of gone quiet. But okay. Goku doesn't. So the issue with like fat, are you trying to scale Goku to fat Janemba?
No.
So
because fat Janemba, you can make the claim that fat Janemba and what do we call him? Thin Janemba, super Janemba. That's it. Super Janemba and Fat Janemba both had the same reality warping capabilities because they're still the same entity. It's not like they lose power or anything.
Well, one gains power, one loses. Like one.
Well, one gains like physical power, like power level power.
Yeah, like I would say one's stronger than the other.
One is definitely stronger, but they don't. But they both have reality warping capabilities that are pretty much the same.
Okay. What is your definition of relativistic?
That you are like not trying to stray off, but like Gohan fighting Goku and Super. Relativistic means that you are able to fight somebody and possibly hold them off for any specific amount of time, but you are not able to beat them. Which that definition fits for Goku versus Janemba, whereas Goku, although he was not able to beat Janemba, like thrash him, he was still able to fight him for some time before he.
All right, I'm just trying to establish definitions, right? So I see where you're trying to go here. You're trying to scale Goku. You're trying to scale Goku to like Janemba, like so he's around Janemba's level but below. The issue is like Janemba was not trying, right? You can't. So like, let me explain. Janemba was only gonna affect. I think it wasn't there an article? Is there anything that was like posting that like you would affect all of the universe or just thing? Yeah, I know he only powered up for Gogeta, but the issue is you can't quantify that, right? So like he would only be at full power when he fought Gogeta because he was pissed off. When he fought Goku, he was like coy and shit. It's kind of like, would you agree that Goku was relativistic to Bootanks? Do you agree that Goku fighting Bootanks and Kai was like relativistic to Boo?
Like, no, because he was massively under him. And that wasn't even really a fight. He didn't really fight him. He threw a single attack. You can't really count that as a fight.
I'm using Kai. I'm just using Kai as an example. He did fight him in Kai before he like reverted
Not
back.
really. That wasn't really a fight though.
They were, by the literal definition of what a fight is, kind of is a fight, Danny. I know in the manga it's like, he threw a destructo disc and then it kind of like stopped there, but I'm using Kai as an example. So like he fought Bootanks, right? But he was struggling, right? And then like that means you, by your logic, you'd be relativistic to Bootanks, so he's able to fight him but not defeat him. I know Daz and Winter is like, nope, that did not happen in the manga. It's like, I don't care. I'm using it.
For being a lot above Goku, I mean, I get that Janemba was like you said, he was playing coy. He was. Mm-hmm. But he still had that, there was still an effort factor there of him having to power up and use his hacks, his Bunkai transport, among other things to beat him.
Yeah, well, the issue is it's like, Goku does not scale to either form, right? Like, oh, he was so fat Janemba. Why are you smothering my cat?
What do you mean he doesn't scale to either form?
Hold on. Give me a second. My bad. My sister was smothering my cat. Okay, so like back to topic. It's like when you say relativistic, an example of relativistic, what I'm saying, like what I would perceive it to be would be like full powered Goku versus Jiren, because they were fighting and Goku gets up and uses more power. And it's like Jiren wasn't toying with him or whatnot. He was powering up and whatever. And I'm not going to sway from the topic. With Bootanks and Goku fought Bootanks and he was putting up a fight. I'm agreeing he puts up a fight. But when they were inside Boo, he concedes that Super Boo was stronger than both of them, right? So it's like he wasn't relativistic, unless you're saying like skinny Boo without like any transformation or any absorption, like is stronger than Bootanks. Then no, right?
I mean,
That doesn't make sense.
Explain to me why that matters in this context.
Okay, I will explain. So when you're saying Goku's able to put up a fight with Janemba, right? And it's like, oh, he forced him to go into the second form. The issue is, it's like he had to go all. Yeah, he did. I'm not arguing against you. I'm not arguing. So that Fat Janemba was coy and like wasn't taking the fight seriously, and Goku had to use all of his powers to force him into like that second form, right? The issue is we already established that this Goku is not like Universe Plus level, right? Because they were only warping 2 space times. Buuhan's Vice Shell was going to destroy the entire macrocosm in one go. Even if you want to say he's destroying the pillar, it's still more impressive than just shaking 2 different space times, because the barrier that Buuhan has is stronger than Super Saiyan 3 Goku at full power. So Goku has no means of defending himself when the impending collapsing of the universe collapses on him. And I'm like, if you want to talk about Janemba's fighting style, he's like Zamasu, but without a brain. He will fight really loose and tank attacks like and stuff. Like he's mindless. He's not like Boo. He's actually dumber than Boo, if you want to argue. He just goes with whatever he has. And he's like, oh, I'll just take a sword and create it. Right? So it's like Janemba, he's fighting a dumber down version of Boo, who doesn't have like any type of thought process. I think he might be dumber than Kid Buu, actually, because I'm pretty sure Kid Buu at least uttered lines in the Japanese like sub.
Okay, that's fine, but can we get back on topic, please?
Yeah. So what I'm saying is the relativistic argument would not apply to Goku, because a thing that debunks it is like the Buu saga, right? I'm using your example, but that's false. So saying Goku, just because he's fighting Janemba, right? He's putting up some type of like fight or struggle, doesn't mean he scales to that Janemba, because that Janemba is casually taking Goku on like it's nothing.
I mean, I would disagree with that, because first off, if Janemba was clearly above him, like completely in power, then there would be no reason for him to use, first off, his Bunkai transport, which allows him to completely just negate attacks completely, and as well as him having to create the sword. If he could just do that, then he would have just thrashed Goku. There'd be no need for that whatsoever. He wouldn't have created it, and he wouldn't have been using his hacks, quote unquote hacks, to fight him. And I mean, yeah, he wasn't necessarily frustrated, but even so.
And then it kind of gets worse because he actually powers up against Gogeta and is actually visibly frustrated.
I mean, yeah, you get stronger when you get frustrated.
Yeah. But the issue is you're trying to quantify like Janemba's power and try to scale Goku to that Janemba and say, well, this Janemba is stronger than Buuhan because reasons, right? But the issue is it's like Janemba only powers up once when he's in that skinny form. He doesn't even power up when he takes the sword. He only powers up when Gogeta appears. So it's like you can't. Like Goku doesn't scale to him because he's weaker.
I mean, that's fine, but he doesn't need to power up when he has the sword, though. That, at least to me, that falls alongside his hacks. It gives him the edge in the battle. It's not necessarily because it powers him up at all. It's not what I'm saying whatsoever. It's that it gave him the edge in the battle.
I'm saying that he never powered up once in his skinny form. Like, you know how Jiren powered up more when he was like struggling with Goku and Vegeta? He was letting out more and more power. But the issue is, in like this context, Janemba only powered up when Gogeta arrived. And then you would have to prove that Janemba would be able to like be stronger than Buuhan's Vice Shout barrier. You would have to prove that Janemba would one-shot the universe. Like literally just punch the universe and would be like, no, we're done. This would include the Kaioken. And
I mean, he was stated to be able to in the movie, at least. I'm pretty sure he was stated to be able to do that. Well, not necessarily do exactly what you just said, but if left unchecked, he would have destroyed the universe because of his reality warping abilities.
Okay. Couldn't that just be implied over time?
I mean, yeah, that could be implied over time, but that just goes back to the original argument of, okay, well, Buuhan's Vice Shout wasn't going to necessarily destroy the universe itself. It was destroying what supports the universe, which is the dimensions that hold it up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it'd be different. It'd be completely different if Buuhan was getting pissed and his energy was just expanding and expanding and expanding and just started to vaporize everything around him. That'd be different, and I would completely agree with you that Buuhan would be definitely stronger because he's physically outputting that key to destroy his target, or his target. But he didn't do that. He ripped through the dimension and was causing dimensions to collapse onto each other. And honestly, granted, it's not the exact same thing, but we've seen weaker people rip through dimensions before, and Gotenks. I'm not going to say Piccolo because that was all pretty much Gotenks. I think we can agree on that. But we've seen somebody do that before where they rip through a dimension, right? And Goku in this movie, upon not just shaking the macrocosm, was also, at least from the scene where the negative vision got turned on, was also warping space and time. So it's like, and not to mention again that Buuhan had to be mad to do that. He had to be mad. Now, I'm not going to say that in this hypothetical fight that Buuhan wouldn't get mad at Goku, because it's very well that he could. It's very, very possible that he could. But even so, he had to get mad to do that, where Goku could just did it standing there.
Well, the thing is, if you read Alex's post, it's like, this is Buuhan who isn't restricted, so he's already bloodlusted. So when I brought this back up, it's the barrier Goku has to go through or he'll die. The Vice Shout, right? Your base Vice Shout does not create a barrier. It just rips a hole through space-time. Buuhan's Vice Shout was collapsing dimensions. So he was manipulating space-time continuum like Janemba was. He was doing it just by shouting. And then the barrier, he forms a very strong barrier that even like causes Vegeta at Super Saiyan 1 or 2, I don't know, right? Because like there's like electricity around that, but I don't know if he was using Super Saiyan 2. But for the sake of the argument, it caused Super Vegeta to use at least a good, like a portion of his power, because he was visibly struggling with the Vice Shout. So he was going to one-shot a universe where Janemba, if it's over time, right? So it's like Goku, let's say Goku scales to that Dabura. He would still be weaker than the Vice Shout. So he would lose to Buuhan because he's not strong enough to bypass that barrier, and the impending collapsing universe would kill Goku. The entire debate was Goku as Super Saiyan 3 in the Janemba movie versus Buuhan unrestricted.
And that's where I disagree with you, because one of your things was you said Goku didn't have the attack potency to do that. Well, once again, I keep getting confused. Buuhan did that while mad, right? Quote, bloodlusted, right? Goku did what he did while calm as you can be when powering up. And as we know, your key attacks scale up. That's universal fact, right? So, granted, Goku does not have a direct feat of him like shooting a Kamehameha and doing something extraordinary. I'm not going to say he does. But if key attacks scale up, and Goku did that while just, powering up, then it's, at least in my opinion, it's fair to say that Goku would have the attack potency to push through that barrier. Maybe not, or at least do what Vegeta did, like struggle with it. Well,
I have a
struggle in
question.
Vegeto's case wasn't struggling, but you get my point.
Was Goku at full power when he shook the universe?
I would not say so. I wouldn't say he was,
Okay,
because
can you prove that?
I would say what?
Can you prove that he wasn't at full power?
Let me get the clip. And also, fallen electricity is just used as a signifier of power sometimes. You or 230 or whatever. You have Goku knocking Fat Janemba to the ground, right? And then, from what I'm seeing, he powers up to prepare that attack of his, the what's it called, Twin Dragon Strike or something like that. He powers up, right, to prepare that attack. So at least from what I'm seeing, while powering up, that was not his full power. When he was powering up before he bodied Fat Janemba was not his full power.
Question mark. Hold up. Hold the phone here. Did he just mention Majin Buu?
When?
He said nobody pushed me this far aside Majin Buu.
I mean, I suppose, I guess, I think he did. Why?
Wouldn't this demonstrably weaken your argument?
Yeah, he said he referenced Majin Buu in it.
Okay, hold on. I'm very confused. Okay, hold on. Okay, so he mentions Boo pushing him to this length, right? So this is Fat Boo, right?
No,
I'm assuming it's Fat
hold
Boo.
on a quick second, though. I mean, we are talking about the movies, right? Where everything scales up. We're talking about the movies where everything scales up. Granted, he is talking about Boo, but you could say that he's talking about a Boo that's been scaled up incredibly.
Okay. All right, because I like anime placement, so I'm like, oh, I could just use that to like go higher.
Well, I mean, the way I'm thinking is that this Super Saiyan 3 Goku is obviously stronger than the one in the anime, where he's able to shake the macrocosm, right? The one in the anime was only able to shake the earth. So it's obvious that this is a stronger Goku, which would mean a stronger Boo.
Give me a second, okay? Just want to go back to Alex's tweet. Not tweet, but like the stupid announcement that he made or when he added everyone. It says no specific anime / movie. Oh. So wait, I can use the movie version as well?
I don't fucking know. I thought it was just Super Saiyan 3 Goku Janemba movie versus Buuhan.
Said no specific anime / movie placement objective stance on Buuhan versus Super Saiyan 3 Goku from the movie.
No specific anime or movie placement objective stance on Buuhan, just Super Saiyan 3 Goku from the Janemba movie. I mean, if you're using the Boo from that movie, right? You could say that he would. You could say that Boo would be on par with Janemba, I suppose. Or would he be? Hold on. Right. If you're using a movie one, then yeah, he'd be stronger. I mean, that's self-evident. It's like if you take Janemba and put him in terms of anime scaling, then Buuhan would win. If you put Buuhan in the movie, Buuhan would win. But if you keep them in their respective scalings, then Janemba wins.
Okay. Sorry, I was very confused. I'm like, I look back up on this. I'm like, oh, he mentioned Boo. I'm like, okay.
So I mean, if we're doing that, then you used a movie one. I guess I got to concede right here because Buuhan would be naturally stronger if he's done using movie scaling.
I mean, I'm gonna stick to the anime because I'm like, I was arguing anime the entire time. I was very confused. So like my entire argument kind of predicates on the barrier, and it's like, so the reason why Goku would be like weaker is because he only can shake stuff, right? At his full power, because he was screaming for God knows how long, and I'm like, it doesn't make sense for him to like use only like half of his power if he's like powering up for that long. Kind of like Vegeta in the Frieza saga. It's like, yo, you're screaming, your eyes are white, and you're only using like 10% of your power. Nani? Doesn't make sense, right? So it's like Goku using all of his power has only like the destructive capability to.
Sorry, I was rewatching that clip real quick.
Yeah. So what I'm saying,
What
Danny,
were you saying?
I'm saying this. My entire premise of the argument is that even I'll play devil's advocate with you or devil's advocate because like Buuhan doesn't have the AP, right, to destroy the universe. But Buuhan's Vice Shout and the barrier would be enough to do Goku in.
So
Because-
basically, hold on. Let
Yeah.
me just get something straight real quick. So basically, at this point, we are arguing that, at least from your stance, you're arguing that Goku wouldn't have the attack potency to destroy the barrier or get through it at least. Whereas I'm saying that Goku did what he did while not enraged, while as calm as you can be, powering up, but he has no feat to showcase what his full power is actually capable of. So using that, I'm saying he has the attack potency to do that.
Okay. Well, I'm saying why he's not because so an example would be like this. If he only at max power, if he's shaking it, right? I'm pretty sure he's at max power because Janemba was also in his fat form giving him a hard time, right? Oh, don't worry, Amish. I'm kind of arguing uphill, but it's like whatever. The thing is, Janemba's feats only demonstrate that he was going to destroy the universe, the macrocosm over time, and you can't really say how long or short it was. So he would scale to like high universal. So would Goku. Buuhan's Vice Shout would be Universe Plus because it's affecting the entire thing. It was going to one-shot the universe because it's collapsing all the dimensions around it. And Vegeta even said, hold on, let me see.
I mean, Dragon, it doesn't necessarily... Is he even in here? Yeah, he is. It doesn't necessarily matter if he's restricted or not, at least from what I'm arguing. Because the way I'm seeing it is that Goku, who did that, he wasn't even at full power from the clip I posted.
Well, we've seen Goku's full power, and it's not of the level of the Vice Shout.
Or you mean the twin dragon hammer,
No,
whatever
it's not
called?
at that level. Because okay, so with Janemba, right? There's nothing to suggest he would one-shot the universe like the Vice Shout. He was going to destroy everything by destroying the pillars. It's the barrier that is stronger than Goku. The barrier is protecting Buuhan. So I'm not even arguing about them fighting because, again, Alex gave me the get-go to use the Vice Shout because there was no restriction on Buuhan. So the barrier is stronger than Goku, right? Because, again, it's going to one-shot and it's manipulating the entire universe at once, and it's going to destroy it instantly. So let me see. I can't find the Kai version because I don't like Dragon Ball Z's fucking dub. So if it's going to destroy about 4 different universes, right, versus like 2 different
universes. What?
The Dragon Ball universe is 4 universes in one. When you mention the macrocosm, it's like 4 different universes in one.
I mean, I just thought the macrocosm was just one universe, if that's what it referred to, but all right.
Okay, so the heaven and so Goku says that time is different. So it's established that like heaven and like the living world are different like universes because Goku cannot maintain Super Saiyan 3 because time flows differently. And it's kind of established that Goku can't maintain it for X reasons, right? Like time's different there. Vegeta, it's also a main plot point in the Buu saga where Piccolo's like, why don't you just recover your energy here? It would work. It's like, nah, man, I ran out of my time. It's like, what do you mean? It's like, oh, I can use Super Saiyan 3 freely there because I'm not restricted by time, right? So that means heaven is a different universe compared to the living world. The Kaioken realm exists outside of that. So space-time is welded together. So if one thing is like changed, so if time is changed, that means a different universe. If space is changed, then the same thing, right? And then so you have the Kaioken realm, which is smaller. We use smaller because it's like projected to be smaller, but it's still like infinite in size. Not the planet. That exists outside of that. So it doesn't share any connection with the universe. It just revolves around.
Wait. Fallen. Hold on a second. I'll let you continue, but you just said that the Kai realm is infinite, correct?
Yeah.
Goku was shaken infinity.
Yeah, if we agree that the universe is infinite, then yes.
I think this is over then. If he's able to shake infinity, I think that's a much bigger feat than being able to just break down a few dimensions.
No. I'm not even done with Buuhan's point though. And then you have the Makaio realm, which was stated to be like parallel in size to the living world, which is stated to be infinite because it contains infinite galaxies. So Goku can shake 2 infinities, right, at max power. Buuhan can create a barrier that can protect him from the destruction of 4 different universes.
I mean, there's nothing to say. Did it even say that he would survive that, though?